welcome back. Am I on? Okay, welcome back to the E3 Esports Zone here in West Hall of E3 2019. This is the Shacknews E3 2019 live stream brought to you by HyperX. I'm Asif Khan. I got my co-host David Craddock, our long reads editor. I'm editor-in-chief, chief executive officer, chief puppy wrangler, but not right now because my dog is in Ohio and I'm out here talking to developers about video games.
Good.
So we have a very special guest here from Panache.
Panache Digital Games.
Panache Digital Games with Patrice Désilets.
Good job.
Coming here from French Canada. Really
Quebec.
trying to trip me up with the name.
Yeah.
Here to talk about Ancestors Humankind Odyssey.
Exactly.
So thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No, we really
I'm glad.
appreciate you taking the time. I know that E3 is a marathon for you, so
Well, it's the very first mile right
So
now.
we're getting that. We're
First
getting-
morning.
It's the maiden voyage.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
getting that good content before you get all tired. You go out to that Twitch
Exactly,
party
and you
you're
don't
all-
have any voices left.
That's why we
so
booked
we're
you
good.
on Tuesday, so you didn't get the hungover. Patrice.
Perfect.
So let's talk about this game. Holy cow. You've definitely been able to create a new world with Ancestors. So what made you decide to pick this setting and to pick primates as like kind of the
subject
driving
matter.
force? Yeah.
Well, first, it's about us at the end of the day.
It's about us.
We're still.
This
like-
story is about, this game is about me, so I'm very invested in it already.
Okay.
And
No,
you,
but-
and him. And
But we're
yeah.
still apes. That's
For
that's
sure.
what we
That's
are.
right.
I mean, it depends what part of the country you're in, but yeah.
Yeah.
Where I come from,
Yeah.
we're apes. and so, but you asked me where the idea comes from.
Yeah, sure.
So when I started Panache Digital Games, I knew I needed a first game. And in order to make multiple games, I needed to, and this is how I work, you need to create a toolbox. And eventually you can took some things from the first game and create a second one. And I needed to create what I call my Tom Cruise character that can be then placed in different situations.
Sure.
Because Tom Cruise is like really good in Mission Impossible. He jumps everywhere, but he can be in a wheelchair also and be a good actor. And as a game designer, this is what you need to create first. And I wanted a small team of 30-ish developers. So what would be the game, first game? And then people told me I'm the historical guy. I'm the guy who made games, set in the Third Crusade or
Sure.
the Italian Renaissance. And one night I had a flash. So, if we do prehistorical time, I'll have less to build for my Tom Cruise character. Because I won't have to build a city. I won't have to build crowds. I won't have to build technology.
Right.
And we'll, be able to just focus on the character in the 3D environment, and then we can build other games afterwards. And I thought it would be easier to do. And I guess I'm a naive person, because recreating Africa 10 million years ago is not an easy endeavor to do. But we're almost done. The game is officially beta. We receive our stamp of approval.
Wow.
And it's shipping late August 27th.
So no, you bring up a really interesting point. I don't think there's a Wikipedia article on ancient or what Africa looked like 10,000 years ago.
10 million.
10 million years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's an article for 10,000 years ago. So
Maybe.
what kind of research were you doing? Was this anthropological research? Were you working with paleontologists, or how did you look at these?
Well, first, the way I work, I do my own research. I need to kind of understand my subject matter. So I read all the books out there, watch all the TV shows about our ancestors. But it's true that there's not a lot that goes further than 10,000 BC. That's a bit the cliche of the prehistorical time. But me, I wanted to tell the story from the very beginning, the fantasy of being in a tree and, going down and eventually walk on two legs and, tell the very beginning of it all. And so watch TV shows from Professor Alice Roberts, for example. And then that was the first 2 years trying to pick up what could be mechanics, what could be behaviors for the main character, ingredients in this world. And then I tend to try to forget.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a paleontologist. That's not my job. I'm an entertainer. I want people to have fun.
You're making a fun game.
Yeah, and it's all about that at the end of the day, right? So then it's all about making sure the game world you're creating is real and feels real, and the logics of it all fit with your experience. And so, but that's the beauty also of the subject matter. It always changes. So what I studied at the very beginning of the process, suddenly they say, oh, we found some tools, and what we thought was the date, the official date of when hominid started to use tools, well, maybe it's 1 million years earlier. And then they find this over there and that, and then some bones, and then it changes all the time. So at first it was all about going through the motion, right? And eventually I went like, first, that's boring. It's like going to school and trying to...
Following that curriculum.
Exactly, so we built a Africa 10 million years ago with all the subject matter that we could find. And then we're letting the player play their evolution. So it really depends on everybody. How are you going to find, when are you going to think about, what if I take 2 rocks and I create a tool with it? Mm-hmm. The game will not ask you to do it.
So it's about experimenting.
A lot. Because I'm asking, hey, Homo sapiens, right. You think you're really intelligent? Well, can you survive like our ancestors did?
Probably not.
No, definitely not. But we'll see.
But you can try.
I mean, I'm going to try.
Try.
But I'm just saying, like, if you threw me into that situation.
But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of Ancestors.
Yeah,
that's why I'm still playing my game a lot. Because even though I see the Matrix, because this is, I understand and I see everything that, it's not perfect or whatever, I can myself experiment with it. Right? And every single game session are different. Because eventually you go, okay, I'll try to go on the left, or the right, sorry, on the left side of the map, or just go straight. And since the game is not really helping the player that much, we're saying it at the beginning of the game, good luck.
Yeah, sure.
We're not, we won't help you much.
Yeah.
But it's true.
I like games that don't hold your hand.
Yes.
Like there's no mini-maps.
Yes.
It's not about looking at the, in the bottom corners, where's the dot, and let's go to the dot.
There's no waypoint.
There's no waypoint. There's no mission giver say, go there, fetch me this, come back here, and then. Sure. It's all about your adventures, right? And it's not about also, you could imagine that those characters are not talking that much.
Yeah.
So it's not about dialogue trees, but there is kind of like a system of neuronal system that eventually you get into the brain of your character. Yeah. To evolve.
I wanted to ask you about, we talked about the research behind it, but also primate social behavior.
Yeah.
So did you look at how primates interact with each other to come up with some of the systems that you're going to have in the game? Because they're like, bonobos are pretty crazy. I don't know if you've gone deep into the research, but they actually premeditate murder. So like,
the chimps more than the bonobos?
Yeah, that's right.
Because the bonobos, you know the story of the chimps and the bonobos? It has nothing to do with ancestors, but let's tell that story because it's amazing. There's like the Congo River, right? And the chimps are on one side of the Congo River and the bonobos on the other side. The chimps, there's also gorillas, so they fight for the resources. Yeah. The bonobos, they're all alone. Okay. So the way they can resolve their conflicts is through sex.
Yeah.
Here they fight. So anyway.
Okay, so on one side of the river there's fighting, on the other side there's sex. So the question is this game going to have some fighting and sex?
A little bit.
Okay.
Of both.
Now we got a party.
But it's true, because it's all about evolution. And evolution, it's done through generation.
Sure.
So you need to make some babies in the game. You don't want me to explain how you make babies, but No,
we'll write a guide for that on Shacknews.
Yes.
So eventually, but that's, you were talking about social behaviors. You have to understand that in Ancestors, you're not actually playing one character. You're playing a clan. Okay. You're playing your lineage through time. So the game starts 10 million years ago. Oh. You'll be like, you start as the missing link.
Yeah.
The last common ancestors of all the big apes. And eventually you'll go up to 2 million years ago, where you're going to be roughly Lucy, the Australopithecus.
Sure.
And so you're on 4 legs, don't do much, you swing in trees, and at the end you'll be in the savannah on 2 legs, and you'll be a hunter. At first you're a prey, man.
Yeah.
Africa wants you dead.
You were talking about just different inventions of tools, right? The idea that we use tools at some point. Are we going to see the creation of the wheel in this game?
No, that's
Okay,
like
that's too
way,
far
like,
out.
whoa. That's like yesterday.
We're talking Ancestors 4.
Ancestors is about prehistorical.
Yeah.
It's the game, you know. It's how would I explain that? It's kind of like the game before you get your first settler in civilization.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the overall arc of Ancestors, you would be that character. So it's all this. It's all that part of history.
I got
So what do you think are some of the more challenging things that you've run into in designing this game? You know, because this is a new environment that you've built from the ground up. What were some of the challenges that you faced?
It was, for me, the knowledge of the player versus the knowledge of the character. That character doesn't know much, but you know. So that's why we kind of removed all the help that you find in other games, because then it would have been not really interesting.
That's good.
That's why I'm again. Homo sapiens. Can you survive? Basically.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, we're gonna try. That's kind of what I wanted to know. What I really like about this game is there's no HUD, there aren't menus getting in the way, and so I wondered kind of what was your process of putting this game in the hands of Homo sapiens and kind of watching them see what they did, see how do you communicate that to players?
There is like right now each time we show the game, it's me playing, so I don't need a HUD.
Right.
But there is a HUD.
Okay, there is a HUD.
There is some like pop-ups.
Some pop-ups. Okay.
At the beginning, just to you know. This is how the game works, and this is how you can play it.
Right.
But it's really we made sure that it was a minimal use.
Right.
But it's true that because it's still a survival game, so you need to eat, you need to drink, you need to sleep to make sure your character can survive. But it's, in the game I made before, HUD are not important. Inventories are not important. When I did Assassin's Creed, it's not about that.
Yeah.
Even Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, it's the same thing, right? So for me, it was really right from the get-go. No inventory. I want to play a survival game where it's not about going in two squares and combining stuff and to create a tool. I want you to be looking at your third person, at your character.
Right.
And it's all done through this. Awesome. Then there's a control scheme that is really like the and you need a pad though.
Yeah.
Right.
We said at the first, now will you be able to play with the mouse and keyboard?
Okay.
But it's been designed around a pad. But the buttons is all about for the
tactile feel.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like working with your hands.
Yeah, but there is this.
Yeah.
In the game, there is the notion of the left and the right arms.
Yeah.
And you need to this is how you combine stuff. It's with your hands, not through an inventory, for example.
Well, unfortunately, we've actually run out of time.
I'm sorry, I talk too much.
I know. Before you go, I just want to know, when is the game coming out? What platforms can we get it on?
So August 27th, Epic Store, and then
some other stuff later,
and then console in December.
Okay, awesome. And we can find out more on Shacknews and everywhere else.
Yes, and ancestorsgame.com. Right, and it's coming. It's right there. It's right there, around the corner.
Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned. We have Sonic and Mario at the 2020 Olympics coming up. And if you like content like this or other content that we've done on Shacknews, on editorial or Twitch streams or video content, consider subscribing to Shacknews Mercury. It starts at $1 a month. It gives you an ad-free Shacknews experience. So stay tuned. We got Mario and Sonic at the Olympics coming up.